Why would I not review this movie? Zombeavers. What is Zombeavers about? Well, there's these two guys. They're transporting some kind of toxic waste, very much in the style of Return of the Living Dead. So this toxic waste falls off their truck. It falls into a lake somewhere, and it contaminates the water. Then about this time, these girls kind of get together and go out to one of their friends' cabin that's like one of their relatives owns. And then these girls went there to, because one of the girls got cheated on. So they're just trying to have a girls' getaway. And during the girls' getaway, their boyfriends arrive, and they were not invited. Or maybe they were. Maybe, I don't know. Somebody must have invited them, but they knew where they were. They got there. And then things start happening. And I guess you could imagine that there's some beavers involved. So the toxic waste got into the lake, and it turned the beavers into zombies. Or mutants. It should be mutant beavers. That would make more sense, because they're not really zombies, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. So that's what it's about. What did I like about this movie? Well, pretty much I liked everything about this movie. I love this style of horror. This is very reminiscent of the 80s, like Gremlins, Munchies, Critters, which is possibly my favorite horror movie of all time. Critters, which that's saying something probably. But I love creature feature movies. So this movie doesn't take itself serious at all. It's just fun camp. But what's surprising about this movie is that it actually looks good. It's like you rent or watch Zombeavers. You don't expect very much from that. You have pretty low expectations. If you have high expectations for Zombeavers, well then I don't know who you are. Who would expect anything from Zombeavers? But that's a great way to go into a movie, expecting just nothing, because you can only be pleasantly surprised. So, and I really liked Zombeavers. Again, so what's good about it? Production quality is very good. Everything looks good. The acting is, what you would expect. It's competent enough. All the characters, are kind of likable. It's just a fun movie. So, the special effects, that's a huge thing for me. There's like minimal use of CGI in this movie. All the zombie beavers are puppets, which is fantastic. Again, like the 80s Critters and Deadly Eyes, all those movies, they were all practical, and that's why they were good. And so there's practical effects, the acting's competent, production value is pretty good. What else did I like about it? It's just fun to watch, it's just a good time. Okay, so there's something else I'd like to say about this movie that I liked. So I'm kind of inserting this footage. So if you see like a big jump, that's what it is, because I added this a little later. So Zombeavers kind of references other horror movies a couple of times, and I think that's pretty cool. Like the beginning of the movie, it's very much in style of Return of the Living Dead, with the mutagen getting into the lake and all that kind of stuff. The canister, I guess is what I'm saying. There's this canister. There's another scene. This one just this one to me is things like, whoa, that's pretty obvious. It's like a slap in the face. Well, it's really cool. So there's a group of the people are stranded on this raft in the middle of a lake. and they're all surrounded by the zombie beavers, and the beavers are trying to get them. And so, do you know what movie that is? A group of people stranded on the raft with this creature trying to get them, because it's a really good movie, and I think it's a bit underrated actually, which is unfortunate. But do you know what this is? If you could say it in a comment below, that'd be pretty cool. It'd be funny if nobody knew. Man, that would make me cry. I mean, I wouldn't really cry, but that would make me sad for that movie, because it needs more love. So what didn't I like about this movie? You know, there's really not a whole lot I didn't like. The only thing I didn't like is how it ended. And so I've seen this 2 or 3 times now. So now that I watched it again, it's only really the last 15 minutes or so that I don't like. And I don't like it because they kind of go into a different direction with the whole premise and everything, where it's going. And I just don't really like how it went. I wish it would have stayed with how it was going for the first 80% of the movie. And if that's the only thing I don't like about this movie, I think that's pretty good. So, I mean, would I recommend Zombeavers? Yes, I would. I enjoy asking people, have you seen Zombeavers? Because it's a ridiculous, stupid name. But, I mean, I think it's cool because you go into it not expecting anything much at all. Then you get, and you're pleasantly surprised. It's really good. So if I had to give this like a number value scale of 1 out of 10 or 0 out of 10, what would I say? Huh, my hat is bright. I would say 6 or 7 out of 10. Because whereas this isn't a good movie, it is an enjoyable movie. Especially if you like kind of horror movies that aren't too serious. They're kind of camp, and that are kind of similar to things from the 80s, which is that's the area of horror movies that I like the most, the 80s. Particularly creature features, this falls in line with that. This is very similar to Critters, Tremors, Gremlins, Munchies, Deadly Eyes. Just all those creature features from the past that are so beloved by me. This is great. I would highly recommend this movie, Zombeavers. Thank you.